Hello, this is Arcades, and welcome to the next episode in our Foundry QuickStart Guide series. Today we're going over combustion generators, and yeah, we're going to be looking at the big powerhouses that'll be fueling a lot of power to your base. Unless you go for a solar field, but that's a different discussion. Today, it's the combustion generators. Hello, welcome to the other side. Now we're back in our regular play world. So here's the thing. We need to get the combustion generators. Now the combustion generators, we unlocked them when we were doing the smelting right here. There was a requirement for unlocking them. And what they are is a unit that burns combustible fuels of various items to create power. And in the case of the combustion generator, it generates 7.5 megawatts. The small solar panel produces 300 kilowatts. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. So this is going to be your heavy lifter for power. And you can still pair it with batteries to store power. There's kind of a hierarchy. They self-regulate. Stuff will go over once we get them built. However, for now, they should be already unlocked if you've been following my guides. But if not, yeah, you just have to get the Research Lab 2 built and unlock these, the high voltage energy and the steel, and then it becomes available to unlock. And then, like I said, it was a requirement for smelting, along with the Tier 2 lab, right here. So yeah, let's get into this. Oh, and if you saw my update video, I'm getting the ladders done. Now, the thing is I'm going to do it right here. I want to clear out a large section of this land. In order to do that, I need Ignum ore. So we got to make a bit of an upgrade to our Ignum ore facility, or Ignum ore processing, as well as, yeah, this entire setup. This was cute and was good enough to take care of this so we could get our steel process, but we need a much larger scale. We need more, and this can lead up to future developments to fully automate steel. So we're gonna do this. It's a 2-for-1. We're gonna increase the output of this. That elevator over there is bringing 640 rubble a minute into here. And you know how much we're processing a minute right now? 100. So we're going to increase the output of this. We're going to get more of these set up, and we'll get more of the Ignum ore established. So give me a moment. I will do that upgrade real quick. Now, just so you know some of the math, like you said, these do 100 a minute. We got 640 coming. So that means we will have we will have 2 of those belts into 7 of these machines. And from there, they will process through the system. So give me a moment, and I will be right back. And here we go. We have our setup now. So, as you can see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crushers, all turning this rubble into Ignum ore, getting sent to this box. Yes, it's been processing a little bit. And then going over here to steel, which we only have a single one of these. Right now, we're not trying to mass produce steel, so that's not a big worry. So, now I've got excess of this. So we're going to grab a few of this. And, yeah. So, now we've got this maximizes the output of this elevator, which is 640, a 320 belt and 320 belt on a 640 elevator. Brings it into here, gets sent across. Since these can only handle 300, they stop feeding off that line, which leaves 40 on that line, or 20 on that line. Same here, these 3 grab across the second line, which they grab 300, leaving another 20. leaving 40 combined for these two lines to come into here, and this one will be processing 40 a minute. So, there we go. Now, I'm going to use this ore that is being made. I'm going to throw it up there over at the explosive production, and yeah, we will get right back to that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is clear out a section of this terrain. It's about going to go out equal to the width of from here, from the elevator, all the way out to this edge right here. So we're going to be clearing out all the terrain that is equal to or above this block lane right here, which is basically from here up in this area. And I'm wanting to go back, say about this far, and we're just going to clear out this area. I'm going to lay it with explosives, and I'll give you a quick example of how I'm going to do that real quick. Basically, what I'm going to do is, I know I need, I think it was 82, yeah, negative 82. So the catch is of what I'm going to do, we'll start from 0 here, and we'll go 5, 3, 4, 5. So right here, and then we're just going to, no, sorry. I need a height of 154. That's what I was needing. Okay. So we were wanting to get down to a height of 149. These things explode to a radius of 9. So that means 5 blocks distance, 1 in the center plus 4. So we should do about 153. That should be 154. So, for example, we'll put I need some blocks in my inventory. Alright. That should be more than enough. So we're at 151. That one puts at 152. 3. And now we're at 154. We'll put the explosive right here. And did you see? Cleared out the land down to the target level, which was 149. Now, what I'm going to do is, on top of that, is every 5 spaces from there, I'm going to lay another one. So I'm going to have like a 5x5 grid. So, give me a minute. Let me set this up, and I will show you the result. And I'm back. Okay. So here's the fun part. So now I've got all these blocks sitting at 154. And I've got them at a distance that's safe from destroying these my electronics. And yeah, so, and I've got them going all the way over here. I ended up drilling some pathways. We got some tunnels here to line this down here. Sometimes that's what you got to do. I know you've seen me do it underground, but this is one where you're trying to do above ground terrain shape, terraforming. Or landscaping? Yeah, landscaping, better term. And as you can see, I just make a grid of the explosives at an interval of 5. Now, when these explode, they'll probably leave a few hanging in the air, and I can take care of those. That's not a problem. It'll probably take more time to just set up an explosive to it. But this is all our area, so yeah, let's commence with the fireworks. So 3, 2, 1. Yes. So, as you can see, it wasn't perfect. I got to do a little bit of cleanup. There's some excess ground clearance there we got to take care of, but I will get it cleaned up. And I'll see you in a moment. And boom, it's all cleaned up now. It's all nice and neat. Got rid of some excess dirt over here. All nice and smooth and prepared for construction. Now, I've got some building blocks over there. I'm going to spread them all over the entire area. And once I get back done with that, I will be back once again. There we go. We have our floor. Now, we have the floor. We have our area. You see I made quite a sizable area. So what we're going to do next is now we need the actual combustion generators themselves. So to do that, we're going to need some steel. We're also going to need some other parts. So I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 stacks of steel. Grab some electronic components. Actually, what do I have? Because we need the generators. As you can see, it takes 10 plates, 20 steel beams, 10 machinery, advanced machinery parts, which requires 1 steel themselves, and 10 electronic components per. And I need some advanced machinery parts, which I believe what I need are plates. So I need, I think, 2 stacks of these. And yeah, that gives us 13. So what I'm doing, I'm going to build 10. I actually suggest you probably build 10 as well. But again, you decide your build, figure out what you need. But I think 10 is a good solid start. It will give you a nice high value. That's 75 megawatts. That will last a while for how I'm playing and how I'm doing this series. So take it, if you're going bigger, then you're going to need more. If you're going smaller, you're going to need less. But either way, building 10 won't hurt. So give me a minute. I'm going to construct the 10, and I will be right back. Oh, and I also will be grabbing a number of conveyor balancers. So, alright, so I came back down here where our Igniminers at, and remember, we made 4 of them, which are supplying the first elevator, which is supplying our little processing. Well, now we need to supply the other elevator with this one. Now what we're going to do is simply just grab a loader, put it on here, grab a container, it's going to feed into the container, and then the container will feed into that elevator. So that way, if this gets backed up or slowed down, it will stock some in the container and act as a buffer for extra. So with that in mind, I'm going to put that one down. We'll put that one there. That one there. There. Grab a belt. And I have one container right here. Alright, so we have it basically set up. Get the belt. There we go. No errors. Outputs, and then we just come over here and we hit launch the rail minder. Now I have an extra one of those, so I'm going to throw it in there. And yeah, so it's going to go on its way. And as you can see here, these rail miners are roughly even, as I mentioned with the container. So that one's going to drill. It's going to send 150 up this elevator for power generation. So, oh, that reminds me, we will also need at least 2 more crushers for the build upstairs. So I'm going to grab those, get those rounded up, and I will meet you upstairs. Okay, so we're back up here. And what we're going to do first, we are going to place our combustion generators. Now, as you see, I took them, we got 10 of them. I've got it in my spot on the hotbar. And I'm basically going to start from the far end, and we're going to build that way. You see, it's telling me there's info in the database. I would suggest checking it over yourself. And what I'm going to do is we're going to place this with the panel facing that direction. I'm going to give 4 spots away from the wall. No particular reason, but I just wanted room in case I just need to do stuff. And there is actually a return thing later on as well. Now, from the back wall, I'm going to give a room of 5. So this is all just in case of future developments, which I don't have plans for right now. Now, between each combustion generator themselves, I am just putting 2. So we're going to put 10 down, all 10 of these down, in this manner. Now, the reason why I chose 2 space is because I plan to grab the loaders, and they are going to be hooked up in this manner. I'm facing the input thing onto there. I have my reason I'm going to do that, and I will show you, because it has to do with how I'm deciding I'm going to belt this. You could do it this way and just have a belt run down. That is perfectly fine and legal. There's nothing wrong with doing that. If that's how you choose to do it, it's very simple and straightforward. And what I'm going to do, however, is I'm going to create a small mini reserve of material on the belt, on top of what is going to be stored in the machine, which, as I told you before, all the machines only store 3 times the recipe internally. So if you want more stored for that machine to burn through, you need to kind of put it on another source, which in this case, I'm going to be using a belt. Now, that's set up. We'll get to the belting in a moment. But however, what I want to do next is we need to set up some crushers, because we have rubble coming up through here, not the ore. So we're going to grab the crushers, and I'm going to put them slightly off to the side, like right here should be good. And we'll put 2 of them down. Now, as you notice, we have no power, so I need to craft myself a transformer real quick, because this floor is completely separate from that over there. All that power is being supplied by the transformer station over there. So this grid right here needs its own power. So we're going to grab, and I'll probably make something a little bit more elegant later on, but for right now, that can just sit right there. We'll grab our power line, connect it up, and now this floor is powered up. And all we gotta do, set these to Ignum ore. And there we go. Now, give me a moment. I'm going to get the little belting done, and I'll show you the result. And there we go, done. So, okay, so what I ended up doing is we have the belt line coming out here. Right now this is set as an intake, so it's keeping stuff from coming out. So I can show you the thing. So we have this coming out. Comes in to the crushers on the backside. And then these output on here, on this belt, comes down here. Hits the balancers, which I gave them the priority output to that side. So that way it will fill this lane first, then it will go over here, fill that lane until that one's full, and go on down. Now what this does, this creates a 1, like 2, 3, basically one extra item, 1, 2, 3, I think 3 items would be held here. And so that's one extra clip, I guess you could say, of held items. So then what's stored internally? So if it stores 3, there's 3 on the belt. So 2, yeah, okay. I hope it came through. And it will just keep overflowing like an ice cube tray until it finally gets to the final 1. Now, the next thing we need to do is you just need to connect these to the grid, which will involve this. Okay, so as you can see, I ended up getting these all hooked onto the power grid. They just need a connection to bring on this. As you can see, they're not connected to any high voltage source. We can remedy that just by basically grabbing this. And we'll bring a power line right over here. And we'll modify this as needed. And as you can see, now it reads, and it's up under here, underneath your high voltage grid generators. It's not producing anything, but let's go ahead and let's fix that. So all we gotta do to get them running. And here they go, 320 a minute. Well, 150 a minute, but they're kind of backed up at 100. Yeah, you get it. So this is going to process at 200 a minute. And as you can see, it's coming in. But it's not doing anything because right now the system is running fine. Batteries are full. And that's the other thing with these guys. They self-regulate. So if there isn't a need for them to be active, they reduce their consumption rate of their fuel. And since right now that the solar panels are providing enough electricity for the current setup, they're not burning right now. Which I know it's kind of disappointing considering that's what you want to see. So yeah, but it says max output, 75 current output, because there's no need for them right now. Once they get up there and the rail miner starts going, that's probably the only thing burning right now, but the solar panels are more than providing for that right now. And there you go. This is what they look like while they're running. You can see it's slowly burning down. The solar panels have kicked out. It's a bit later in the day, so they're not producing anything, so the combustion generator is powered up to take on the roll, and the batteries are sitting there full. So what makes that good is, like, right now, it's like, why do we have the batteries? Well, eventually, over time, as your facility gets bigger, and you get some of the stronger things in there, the batteries will actually take in the excess power that's not consumed from the generators, from the combustion generators, and store that as well as the solar panel stuff. So during the day you'll have the solar panels and the generators activating, and the excess will be put in the batteries, keeping them full, so that at night when the panels go down, they still do the same thing. But there's also times when your power may spike, and those batteries will shove the power back into the system without because it may go over what you have available. My current playthrough, my main playthrough world, that is a very good example of this. But for the time being, as you can see, they're running, and our world now has an extra 75 megawatts of power operating. And this is just by spending 1,000 megawatts on a rail miner. So a profit of 74? I don't know if it's actually like able to keep up at the moment. I know there's a math to it. I don't remember what the math is exactly right now, but it is what it is. So yeah, if I figure it out, I'll let you know. So yeah, this is Arcades. I stream every Sunday and Monday for the time being on Twitch as Arcades Test. I do engineering games in general. And yeah, so we got our combustion generators running, expanded the Ignum ore production, and generally just had some fun with this. So, hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed what you watched. This is Arcades, signing out. Have yourself a good day.